Hello and welcome to Break Up the Program Masterclass, hosted by yours truly, Jacqueline Renee. I am so thankful you are here because this is a topic I am super passionate about, but I haven't really had the platform or time to share it yet. So I'm so thankful you're here. I'm a former program and challenge junkie. I was addicted to the promised results of a program, whether that result was losing weight, achieving a certain look, or even experiencing certain health improvements. Because I didn't feel or look amazing all the time, I was invested and dependent on the promises that were made by the creators of those programs. But over the past several years, I felt a tug to listen to me more rather than the creator of a program or diet. But the guilt and a pang of failure I felt for doing that was overwhelming. That's when I knew I needed to break up with the program or challenge mentality. So, in preparation for this masterclass, I did the math. I've tried 12 different diets multiple times for different durations and have completed over 31 workout programs. That's just going once through. I've done these workout programs in different cycles and multiple times, but there's no way of me tracking how many times I've done a workout program in the past 10 years. So, for many years, it was my job to do this, to follow a program from start to finish, check off the workout that's on the calendar, use the containers I was designated to use, and whatever else I was expected to do. Now, I want to start by saying that this wasn't a totally bad experience, and this is not a program challenge hating masterclass. But I began to tie my worth and my health to whether or not I could be perfect during a challenge, and it began to put a sour taste in my mouth. I could not keep up. I felt pulled in another direction, a direction where I was more empowered and knowledgeable about what my body needed than a random person creating these workouts or nutritional rules. Now, this shift began happening when I learned about hormonal health for the female body. It literally shook the foundation of what I had spent 8 years teaching and preaching. I had spent years encouraging women to just push through a workout, even if they were on a period, and to never miss a Monday or to check off every day on their workout program, and to just stick with the meal plan, to just suck it up. Little did I know that women go through four different phases in a month cycle, each phase requiring different calories, movement, and this is especially the case if they are experiencing hormone imbalance. I created a program called Feed Your Phase, which teaches this info as well and how to implement it into your own life. But back to my story, learning how to feed, exercise, and output energy in sync with the female physiology changed my whole outlook on how to listen and trust your own body, as well as being its best advocate. Slowly but surely, I found myself not finishing workout programs or doing them on my own timeline and just adjusting any previous cleanses or nutrition programs I was participating in into a way that felt right for me, but I still felt guilt all the time. Maybe because I knew this was the dwindling of my coaching career with a particular company. Maybe because I thought I had let people or even myself down. I'm a Cancer sign and we are loyal to a fault, and I could no longer be loyal to something that was tearing me up inside. I feel like I was evolving, and sometimes um in certain parts of your life, you feel loyal to a company, loyal to a group of people, and that can sometimes be really good for a short amount of time. But when you're a person that's meant to evolve, meant to grow, meant to try new things, meant to adapt to whatever life changes come at you, that means breaking up with some of what you thought you knew before. Part of you that had been doing certain programs or styles of eating for years. And just like a relationship that is no longer serving us, I had to break up with the idea that I had to do the next program coming out or follow a meal plan that was being launched just to be successful. The moment I gave myself that permission was amazing. I finally felt free. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is not a program or challenge hating masterclass. So, I want to point out 6 benefits of doing a program or a challenge. Number one, it instills discipline and creates motivation. I can't say that if it weren't for doing challenges and programs in the past, that I would have the motivation or discipline that I have today. So I definitely think that there is a time and place for that. And it's a way to kind of differentiate when you're just feeling lazy and when you could actually be doing something. It is a positive way to get moving, maybe when your old self would let yourself just like sit on the couch. Number two, it can give you information about what you like or you don't like. I feel like trying anything new, whether it's a program or a challenge or a different method of eating, there's going to be things that you loved, like maybe how your energy was or how your muscles responded, how your bowel movements were, or the style of cooking that you were trying, or what time of day you were eating. And then there's maybe other things that you didn't like. For instance, maybe how many times a day you had to eat, or the certain style of workouts that you were kind of forced to do. All of that is information, and information is a great thing. So, doing a program start to finish can really show you what you like and what you don't like. Number three, something such as an elimination diet can help show you what your body needs or prefers. Just like point number two, this is all information that you're going to gather when you do a program or a challenge. So, an elimination diet is amazing because maybe there's something going on in your body, maybe an allergy or something that's just draining your energy. And an elimination diet is a great way, without doing too much testing, to see what works for your body and what doesn't. Um, and information is power. When we know that a certain food upsets our stomach, we can definitely still have it here and there, but you know the repercussions. It's an informed consent decision at that point. So that's great information that doing a elimination diet or a food challenge can do. Number four, doing a program or challenge is a great way to build community and find like-minded people. And maybe it's just for a short amount of time that you're in this challenge or program with people, but oftentimes you'll find someone that you just click with, and it could be a relationship that lasts a lifetime. In general, I think it's great to be surrounded by people who want the same things or who are on the same journey as you are. It makes healthier lifestyles easier when you have a common denominator in the relationship and someone that you can vent to. Number 5 is the health benefits. This kind of goes in with what I mentioned earlier, but a great thing about a program or challenge is the health benefits that you get from doing whatever health workout program or nutrition challenge you're doing. And lastly, number 6, it shows you that you can do something from start to finish. And this is probably for me the most important part of having done so many programs and challenges. It's not about the aesthetics, it's not even about the information sometimes that you're getting. It's about the fact that you were able to do something from start to finish, follow the guidelines, do what you said you were going to do, and that's a way to build trust with yourself. I think a lot of us lack trust within ourselves to make right decisions, to eat healthy, to work out, to do whatever it may be. This is a way to build trust, completing a program or a nutritional challenge and seeing it through from start to finish. Now, I'll get into it very shortly here, but what happens is when you're done a program, you have to continue with that trust, and with that continuing that trust means taking action that still aligns with what you said you were going to do and what your goals are. But that's first stepping stone in building trust with yourself to make great decisions, to show yourself love, is completing something start to finish that entails actions that mean just that, that you love yourself. So these are all important things to have in life. It's valuable for a period of time, depending on where you're at. Everyone should try something to give themselves the intel and information their body needs to run optimally, right? Like I said, knowledge is power. But here are 5 signs that you may want to reevaluate constantly doing programs or challenges. And these are what I personally experienced and when I knew I had to make a change. Number one is you're only seeing results if you're following a challenge or a program. Like I just mentioned, following a program or a challenge is a way to build trust with yourself. But if after the 30-day challenge that you just completed, you go way back to your old ways, you start feeling like shit again, you are just breaking every promise to yourself that you said you wanted to do, that's not healthy physically or mentally. And so if you feel like you can only see results if you're like in it, quote unquote, that's a sign that you need to break up with it completely because life is going to be happening whether this challenge is going on or this program is going on or not. So it's important to have the mindset of taking care of yourself every day, not just when you're in a 6 week or 30-day program. Number two, if you binge or revert back to your old ways when you're not following something, this is kind of what I just said, but I guess my first point was more so you're only seeing results if you're following a challenger program. And this is the second point means if you're binging or reverting back to old ways when you're not following something, that's another sign that you need to reevaluate how you're incorporating programs and challenges into your life. Again, physically and mentally, it's not healthy to binge. And that becomes a mindset thing. If you're finding yourself only being healthy, practicing healthy habits because you're in something, that's something you definitely want to reevaluate. Third sign that you may want to reevaluate constantly doing programs or challenges is if you have anxiety around life events such as a vacation, weddings, going out with friends, because it doesn't fit with the rules of whatever you're following. I remember that there would be so many life events that I felt like I couldn't participate in because I was either doing a challenge or getting ready for something. I remember dieting down and doing a challenge, a 3-week challenge before going to Mexico once. And instead of just being consistent with a regular routine that I could follow and that left me satisfied daily, I went into a carb cycling coma and wanted to look really good in a bikini and said no to going out at all with friends, to any of life's indulgences for 3 weeks, only to go to Mexico and completely binge, drink, eat, and like undo all of my hard work. It was a vicious cycle of things like that, or just being in a challenge and saying no to going out to eat for dinner, or feeling anxious around like a big life event, such as a wedding, because I was like, oh, this doesn't fit in my rules or guidelines. And even though they weren't my rules or guidelines that I made for myself, they were made by someone else. It gave me a lot of and anxiety. And I don't think building stress or anxiety about food or exercise is going to be healthy in the long run. The fourth sign that you may want to evaluate programs and challenges is if you're left to your own devices and you feel like you couldn't make a decision on what workout to do or how to eat. In what I said, in congruence with what I said earlier, following something from start to finish is the way to build trust with yourself. But the ultimate way to trust yourself is to be making choices daily. Not every choice, but most choices are things that you're going to feel good about and that will benefit your mental, physical, and emotional state. So, if you're not following the rules or the guidelines of a program or a workout calendar, and without that, you're just like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I have no idea. That's a sign you might want to either get some help from a coach who helps you with this or a program that's just more in sync with what like your lifestyle is like rather than a challenge that helps you like diet down or give you a certain aesthetic. And the final sign that you want to look out for is that the all or nothing mentality has taken over and you feel burnout from constantly being in or on some type of challenge. So, I think that the all or nothing mentality, not only when it comes to food or workouts, but with work, with chores around the house, with anything or responsibility that we have for ourselves, can be super common. So it's common to sit on the couch on a Sunday, the day before going back to work, and you just want to Netflix and chill, enjoy some food, whatever it is. And that's totally amazing and great. But then you're left Monday without any food to eat for, the following day, without having maybe your laundry done so that you have something fun to wear, without your hair washed so that you feel confident going into the week. And there's definitely ways to still enjoy a Netflix and chill moment while also still getting done some stuff that will benefit us for our future. So it's really easy to fall into this all or nothing mentality. I know I have, where on the weekends I would just totally binge, and then during the week I'd be on some sort of program protocol that I'd be following. And if on the weekend I wanted to let loose and have fun, I was going to let loose and have fun and throw every single rule or regulation I had put on myself out the window. And that was really hard, not only on me mentally but physically. Your body is so stressed out when you're bombarding it with foods or drinks or sugar or gluten that is just like taxing your body when it's not used to it. And then going from that to super strict and rigid routines that hopefully help your body, but again, mentally, it's a dangerous cycle. So where do we find balance? How can you not be following a program yet still see results and feel awesome? This is something I've been practicing for the past about 2 years, and here is what I find helps. If you love the program or challenge mindset, instead of following everything to a T, choose one thing you really enjoyed from what you tried in the past and just keep up with that. Just one thing. It could be the times of day you were eating. Maybe you were intermittent fasting or making sure that you got a little bit of food before your workout. Maybe it was the amount of veggies you were consuming that made you feel so great, or the routines that you were setting up in the morning or night. I'm sure you've gone through a program or challenge and thought, I really love this, but not that. Do what you loved and forget what you hated, no matter how good it was for you. So if you really hated a certain recipe or a certain food group, minus vegetables, I think we all need vegetables, but there's a way to make those delicious. But if there's a certain habit that you just really felt didn't align with you deep in your core, but you knew it was so good for you, then don't do that. If instead eating a bunch of vegetables, I can think of an example. I did a 3-week cleanse, and I really loved how I felt at that time just eating an abundance of vegetables. It was so delicious, and I could feel my body loved it too. But one thing I really missed was my pre-workout. And this 21-day cleanse said, no caffeine for those 3 weeks. And this is actually a 3-week cleanse I've done a bunch of times just to like, it's a gentle colon cleanse basically. And I feel like it's helpful to have from time to time. but I was miserable without my pre-workout. Listen, I don't drink coffee, so my pre-workout is like my happy time. I know I am informed of the downfalls of having caffeine, especially for female hormones. I do my best to mitigate it and make it as like least invasive for my hormones and my body as possible, but it makes me happy. I'm gonna keep doing it. So instead of trying to force myself to not have my pre workout, which I covet and love every single day, I'm going to create a lifestyle that includes it, minimizes its lack of benefits at times, and incorporate the things that did make me feel good, which was eating a bunch of veggies around that. The second point is to pay attention to your body. How did your body, mindset, and energy respond to programs or challenges you've done? Did you feel better during certain times of the month and less than great other times of the month? Again, that's totally normal if you're a female. That's what I teach in my Feed Your Phase course. But take note on how you're currently feeling and implement what felt good at that time. Maybe during your period, working out just did not feel good. It left you depleted and like you were just miserable the whole time. Don't work out then during your period. Do more restorative stuff and don't let a calendar make you feel guilty about that. Another point I want to mention is when that all or nothing mindset creeps in, you better smash that motherfucker. I am the queen of fuck it. I won't do anything if it's not perfect or I'm not in a program, or at least that was my old mindset. But that's a bullshit excuse and we know it, right? In the past, I'd get caught up in the fact that if I didn't get my workout that was scheduled in that day, then I wouldn't do it at all or any type of movement at all. Or worse, I would double up on workouts the next day instead to just be able to stay on schedule with the program I was doing. For me, like a walk was not considered something to count towards my progress or success, which in this day and age, we know the benefits of getting outside and having vitamin D on our face. So it's truly comical that I would think a walk was less than a workout. I was so hard on myself and it was like debilitating and it ended up hindering my long-term success. So even if you have 10 minutes to get some movement in, even if you're at McDonald's and you can order a side of veggies, even if you sat on the couch and did nothing all day, do a little self-care at night. Every little bit matters and every bit should be a way to show yourself loved and that trust that you need to build with yourself. Another point that I want to mention about finding balance is to change your mindset from that short term success to long term success. There is no denying we are in a world of instant gratification between social media, DoorDash, all that fun stuff. But yes, there is a balance between YOLO and long term success, and you should dance on that line. YOLO every day, all day is not helping your future self out. I think we know that. Often throughout the day, I will think, well, will my future self thank me for this or hate me for this? This could be around food, workout, self care, whatever it may be. But many times, just taking that moment to pause and reflect helps me make the best choice at that moment. And yes, sometimes the answer is she may hate me a little bit, but she'll survive, and that's okay because life is too short, but your life's going to be even shorter if you make a sequence of really bad decisions. And the last way to balance this all out is to trust yourself. You're a full fledged adult girl. You know when the fun is over. You know when you can make better choices instead of thinking you need to start a new challenge or, this is my least favorite term ever, get back on the wagon. Just start something, just chug the water. Even if it's midway through a food binge, even if you have not done one thing all day, even if you have not worked out in months, just start something. Put on your big girl pants and make those decisions you know will make you feel awesome. You know what they are. It may take time to build trust in yourself, but it only happens when you take those little actions every day. Okay, so how do you feel? Are you still nervous to break up with your workout programming or your food challenges? Maybe there's still something you implement into your life, but with better intention. That's a huge step in the right direction. No matter what you choose to do, taking the time to ask why with anything we do in life will help bring awareness and help you make the right decision that is aligned with your values and your long term goals. Now, if you are wanting to channel some more of your inner female energy needs, then I highly suggest joining me for the second session of Feed Your Face. This is not a challenge or a program. It is a course filled with information about how your female body works and why things like food and workout programs may feel stressful to you to feel successful with all month long. And that hint of that is because our cycle is not taken into account by the creators of the programs you do. Our bodies were not meant to be the same all month long. And that's what I love to teach people and Feed Your Face. Based on the information I give you, you can make the best choices for yourself. And it's a way to feel really empowered and trust your female energy. So, for more information on that, check out the link below. But I want to thank you for coming to the Break Up the Program Masterclass. Please let me know if anything resonated with you below or by sending me a DM in Instagram. And I hope to host another masterclass and chat with you again soon. Thanks.